Hey friends, I welcome you again, and today I am going to cover process control command in Linux or Unix. What are these process control command? I mean, these are the command through which you can control a process, or you can analyze a process, or you can do anything with the process. So I will cover the main process control command which are generally used. Okay, so let's move the tutorial. The first thing is very basic. I mean, many of the times when we are running command through our terminal, we have a requirement that we want to send that command to background. Generally we run it on the foreground, and then we want to send it to background, and then we again want to bring it the foreground and want to analyze it. Okay, so how we can do that? Okay, so I will go through an example here. What I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to create a process. I say watch utility. Watch utility generally execute anything that is mentioned to it in a loop, and by default it executes every 2 seconds, right? So you can also change it using hyphen n if you want to execute it after every second. So it will execute this command in after every 2 seconds. So I can, there's two ways of sending it to the background. Either I use ampersand along with it and enter, then it will go to the background directly, or I can just execute this command and I can say control plus z, and it will go to the it will just go into sleep mode, and then I have to type bg, then it will go to the background. Okay, so I will show you how we can do it, and I will also show you how we can bring how we can bring our background process into the foreground, and how we can see how many back, background process we are running, and how to bring them into foregrounds using jobs command. Okay. Okay, so let's go into the practical section. Here suppose I'm using a man page, say, and I say ampersand. Okay, you see it goes into background. And suppose if I say watch and I say ls hyphen ltrh and I enter, so you see after every 2 seconds it's executing this command. So I say control z to sleep it, then I say bg. So bg will be affecting the currently background sleep command. So I say bg. So now watches also goes into the background. So now I need to see how many jobs I have in the background. So I will say jobs jobs, and I can see that they are one job, that is ls man ls, that is executing in the background. And similarly there is another command, this process is executing in the background. What this plus and minus signifies? Plus signifies that when I do fg foreground, then it will invoke this process. Okay, so let me do fg and I enter. You see the this process that was showing with plus as foregrounded. Now I again say it to sleep, and then I say bg to background it. Okay, now let's see jobs. Suppose if I want to foreground this process, then how would I say? I say fg and I say 1, because it is the 1. So you see it is foregrounded, and I can see, and I can say quit. So now how many jobs I'm left with? Jobs only 1, right? So similarly, I mean, you can execute n number of commands from a terminal, and you can foreground or you can background as per your requirement. Okay, so if you want to send it to background, use it with hyphen with ampersand in the beginning only. Or if you want to see some output and then you want to do it, then just run it and say control z, and then you can do bg for sending it to background. Okay, so pretty simple. So let's go forward in the tutorial. Okay. Okay, so we don't require this. Yep. So the next process control command is called ps. Ps command is the process command. It's a very effective utility, I tell you. um, you can, it's heavily used for searching any process and analyzing any process, very much used in this shell script. So what is this? It's very simple. You say ps hyphen e or EF or capital F or ELY, and in BSD you say, in the BSD Linux you say AUX or AX. We'll concentrate on the normal Linux. Okay, so what E signifies? E signifies to display all the processes. F to the capital F wraps around the output, right? ELY is a more detailed version of it. Okay, so we'll see that in detail. To print a process tree, so this is for printing a process tree, EJH, and in BSD format is done in this. To know about threads, you use L, capital L. And suppose you want to search a specific process, then you can say ps-aef grep the process name, so it will tell the detail of the particular process that you are looking for. Similarly, if you know the process ID, you say ps-v along with the process ID. Similarly, if you just know the user ID, you say process-u and the user ID. Okay, that's a typo. Okay, let's go to the practical session, and we'll see some handy practicals that will enhance our knowledge. Okay, so first is ps, the default command. So what it says, these are the processes which are running currently, uh, which is linked to this terminal, right, through which we are working. First is the bash, we know. Watch is still executing, or we have not stopped that process, so it's still executing. And ps, the third process that we have used, so its PID are this. It is linked to this TTY, so this is the second terminal through which we are working. Okay, and it mentions about the time from which it's running and the command name. Okay, so if I say E, it will mention all the processes, so it's better to use it with a pager command that we have already covered. So if you want to learn more about the pager command, like less more, so go to my another video tutorial. So I say S, so now I can page, I can see all the processes. So E stands to display all the processes, right? Similarly, sorry, okay, similarly I can do full listing, right? I can see all the details of the processes, like what is PID, what is parent ID, what is resident memory size and time and everything, right? Okay, so, and similarly, if I want even the more detailed format, I say ELY, right? It gives me even the more detailed information about the process, and I can look into the all the information. Okay, similarly, if I want to say see the process tree, I say E, J, and capital H, and it generally shows the process tree, that how which process is running and it's calling which process, and how that actually the process tree expands, right? So it will all show you the kernel thread and the particular process beneath it, and it will show the entire tree of the process. Okay, so this is mainly used for analyzing or debugging or understanding a particular binary that you're running. Okay, similarly, if you know about the thread, okay, so I say ps hyphen elf, I will say okay, and I say grep uh, httpd. Okay, so you see, this is the Apache main process, and these are all the child processes that are running. So using L, I can see all the threads, all the child processes. Okay, and I can use grep for filtering out the particular. If I would just want to see the HTTP process, I will say grep, and I can see the detail of it. So I just, what I did, I say ps along with the whatever thing I want to display, and I piped it, and I say grep and httpd, the process name. Okay, so okay, similarly, suppose if I know the process ID, so I will say ps hyphen e, and I will say the process ID, and it will display the process detail information. Okay, so it's only showing the process and its information. Okay. Similarly, suppose if I want to see uh, all the process running from a particular user called research, I will say ps hyphen u research, right? I believe right now no process is running from this. Okay, no process is running from this. Okay, so let us open. Okay, and let's say watch, and we say ls hyphen ltrh, and let us keep it executing. Now let's see. Okay, so you see, if I know a user id, I can say hyphen u, and it's showing that following processes are running to this user id. So we have seen that it's ps is a very handy command to analyze and understand. I mean, here I'm just having a basic information of it. For detail, you can refer to my another video tutorial in which I have covered ps in a great detail, so you can master this command. Okay, so our next command is, let's go to the ppt, and our next command is top. Okay, what is top? Top is a very good utility in Linux through which I can see various information for analysis for all the process that is running on the system. Even I can see what is the CPU usage, what is the memory usage, what is total CPU usage, what is processed by CPU usage. I can see what is even in the memory. I can see what is the total physical memory usage, the swap usage, what are the buffers, and I can even sort, and I can play, I can kill. I mean, top is one of the very handy command that is used in Linux. I have another video tutorial which is dedicated to mastering top. Since it's used so widely, so I have also created a separate video tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll just try to cover the basics of it. Okay, so it displays the complete active process, CPU, memory, and a lot of information. And if you want to if you want to order process according to the memory usage, so you say shift hyphen p, so hyphen m for memory usage, hyphen p with the CPU usage. So the process which is taking the highest memory or highest process, it will be on the top. Similarly, you can press Z to have, actually it's a very black and white view, so you can press Z to have a more colorful interface. C for seeing the absolute current running path of the process. This, sometimes it's very important. Sometimes when you're analyzing, you see a particular process and you want to go to the particular directory of that process and want to do some work with that. So you just in top you say C, and it will show you the path, and you can just go and you can work. So great thing. Similarly, you can kill any process from the top itself. You press a key, it will ask for the process ID. You just mention it, and it will kill that process. Similarly, if you want to save the configuration, then it will use shift W and save it into this path. Okay. Similarly, suppose if you want to see all the processes running of a particular user, you say top hyphen u, the way we did it for the PS. Okay, so let's go and practice. Okay, so we say top for, okay, so see top, it's showing that for how long my system is up, this much time. Okay, and other details. Similarly, task information, total task, current running task, sleeping task, top task, zombies, then CPU usage, and then memory usage, and the swap. I have covered everything in detail in my another video tutorial, so I will explain each and every field in that. So if you are interested in mastering top, please watch the tutorial. Okay, these are the list of process IDs along with the users and all the all the other informations. Okay, so this is a process ID, and this is complete information of the SSD process running. But this is percentage in CPU usage is using this much of CPU, and the memory usage. Okay, so I have also covered all this thing, that what each of this attribute means in the top. So in that video tutorial I have mentioned everything in detail. Now here, if I want to sort my output through memory usage, I will say shift M, and it is sorted in order of its memory usage. So you see GDM greeter is using 1.5 percentage of memory. Okay, so you can see all this. If you want to sort in the order of CPU usage, either shift P, and it is listed in the order of CPU usage. Okay, similarly, since it's a very black and white view, I can say Z. I just press Z for a more colorful output. Okay, so if I want to see the absolute path of the process running, I say C. So here I don't have any process which has any particular path, otherwise it's not showing here. But if you say C, it will show the complete path of the process. Okay, similarly, if you say shift W, it shows the road configuration to that particular path. Okay, let's see it again. So this particular path is as written. Okay, and similarly, if I want to kill a process, I say K. Now it's asking which process I want to kill. So I can give any process from here, right? Suppose if I want to kill uh, this process, right? I say this, enter. It asks, do you really want to kill it? I will say yes, and I will enter. It will kill that process. Okay, so it has killed that process. You see, like, so it killed that process. Okay, similarly, you can kill any process from here. For how do you quit? You say, suppose if I want to kill top, I will say K. I have top ID. I say, and yes, let's kill that process. And you press Q for quitting the top. Okay. Similarly, if I want to see processes of a specific user, then I will say -u username, and it will tell me all the processes which are running, right? And suppose here also, if I want to kill some process which is running, like the watch that we visit there, I say kill, is asking for yes, I say yes, let's kill that. Okay, so you see it has killed that process. Q for exiting. So this was all regarding the top. Let's go and see what else we are left to cover for today's session. Okay, so we have already seen how to kill from top. But suppose if you some process is misbehaving, also you want to kill some process, so how do you do? You say kill and the process ID, it will kill the process. But the important thing is you should be owner of that process. If you are killing some others process which are running in some other user ID and you don't have right, it will not kill. So you can use kill all for killing all the vim process. Suppose you are killing the vim process from root, it will close all the vim which is executing from any of the login. So when you say kill all, it will kill all the processes. Sometimes a simple kill is not enough for killing a process, so you say -9 and you give a process ID, and it will forcefully kill with sick kill. Okay, similarly similarly, if you don't remember the process ID or you don't want to grab the process ID, you can say pkill. I can mention -I or anything the way you want. Okay, so let's see some examples of it. Okay, so let's run it again, and okay, so so let us search for that particular process. Okay, that we have just run. I will never watch. So we have one watch process running from root, and one from bridge. Suppose if I want to kill, I will say kill hyphen 9, right? I say root, this is the process ID, I say kill, and now you can see that is killed, right? This one process. Similarly, if I say pickle hyphen 9 and I give a process ID, it will kill. Okay, so okay, one I did a mistake. It's a pkill, so it will take process name, right? The process name is watch. Let me see. Yes, it killed the process. Okay. Similarly, I mean, you can say kill all for killing all the v.r.t's or all the processes. I mean, multiple processes running from multiple users and kill all of them. So kill is a pretty dangerous command, so you should be very careful while using it. Okay, that's all we had in today's session, and I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed it also. Friends, I have one request. If you like this tutorial, please like it, share with your friends, share feedback, and also subscribe to this channel. Okay, watch the other tutorials also in this section and share your feedback with me. Okay, bye, signing off.